We all know that Kaguya Osusuki is one of the strongest person in the whole Naruto series. Not Boruto, Naruto. We've seen the Sage of Six Paths sealing Kaguya away as they couldn't kill her because actually she was somewhat unkillable here. We've seen Team 7 trying to actually kill her, but they had to seal her away. If you guys don't think that's impressive, I don't know what will. But regardless of all that, I want to change the story of Naruto. What would happen if she had a daughter? What would happen if she was in Naruto's life? Would she find love? Would she follow in her mother's footsteps? Well, we're gonna have to find out by watching What If Kaguya Had a Daughter. In a far place, there was actually a shrine. the fourth Hokage, of course, and she was actually quite deadly ninja, able to use actually forbidden actually sealing jutsus, and because she was a Uzumaki, her actually Keke Genkai was actually quite of a fearsome thing. One day, Jiraiya would have actually came to the Uzumaki estate, and this is where he revealed the child of prophecy, prophesying actually one actually person, of course, will bring peace among the whole lands. Of course, actually they would think that this was Menma and Mito. Of course, Naruto was not there. He would pretty much be in his room. His family never showed him even a sliver of love. He never knew what love really was, of course. He was isolated. He didn't have any friends. No one to actually look up to. No one to even call truly actually a mother or father. He was all alone. One day, as Naruto was being chased actually by the villagers, of course, as this was actually something on the daily, nobody actually cared that actually if Naruto was the son of the fourth Hokage. They just hated him since he has the soul. How actually Naruto destroyed their home, destroyed actually the people that they loved, even though it wasn't Naruto, even though he has the soul. It doesn't actually make him a monster. They hate him because actually this was something that it was built inside of them. Of course, they don't see the big picture. They only see actually something that they do not want to actually see, and that's the truth. Naruto would have been actually trapped in an alley as tons of villagers gathered around, had their weapons in their hands, and this is where they would get the brutal beating to actually the young boy. As actually pretty much an hour would have passed as they were still beating on him. Naruto cried out for help. Anyone cried out for his mother and father, but they never came. What parents would not be there for their kids, even if they're going through something right now, even if actually they're actually being beat up, they will not actually come for him. They are not gonna come. They're gonna just leave him here to suffer. He doesn't want to suffer. He wants to live. Somebody please help me, as Naruto cried out. Soon, the beating would actually stop, as Naruto would look up to see actually the crowds and the hordes of the villagers. They were frozen. It seemed like they were frozen in time somehow. How could this be possible? Naruto would say. That's quite disappointing, Naruto Uzumaki. For someone who holds the Nine Tails, you truly are weak. Well, I don't blame you. You don't have the Nine Tails chakra, so there's no way you can draw on its true power. And it's quite sad, really. You don't know how powerful you can really become, Yoriko would have said, making herself appear. As Naruto would have looked up to see a beautiful woman standing in front of him. She had beautiful actually white hair, and she had Byakugans, wearing actually a yukata, that actually if any boy looked at her, they would immediately actually fall unconscious because how beautiful she really was. Naruto didn't say a word. He couldn't actually find the right word to speak before Yoriko just came right close to him, face to face.
There's nothing to be scared about, my love. Of course, I actually do admire you. To be honest, I see you, just like my mother, of course. How they mistreat you, how they treat you like a beast, how they only see actually something that they do not want to see, and that's the truth. My mother was actually just like you, wanted to actually spread love across this planet before she was betrayed by actually her loved one and also actually the people around her, of course. But you're different. You're just like her. You're just like me. Please, allow me to help you acquire your dreams and goals, and then I actually will show you infinite amount of love that nobody can give you. The love that I have for you would actually run endless. I could give you so much more if you just join me, please.
Yoriko would have said as she would look straight towards Naruto, with actually her eyes blaring actually that of actually white and also purple here. Naruto didn't understand what she was talking about. What was this eternal love that she was speaking? She was talking nonsense. She was crazy. What are you talking about? What do you mean by eternal love and all this? I don't need your love. I have people who already cared for me. But Naruto would have been caught off by a laugh.
Wow, I actually almost fell for that. You really actually can make me laugh, of course. But there's no need for you to lie to me. Nobody truly loves you, and not even this goddamn village even cares about you. If they really did, then why would they even do this to you? Your mother and father, did they even spank you even a glance, of course, as they actually are too busy playing with that precious member Mito? Does they have time to actually check on their firstborn? Somebody who is actually going through actually mental actually illness, also physical abuse, all this here, and yet you call them parents? Don't be a fool. Just actually just accept me as actually your good and loving partner. I can show you so much that this world cannot offer. I'm offering you something that nobody else can offer you. Freedom, love, anything. If you would just actually accept me as actually yours.
Naruto was taken aback by this. He didn't know what to say. Sure, she was beautiful, but could he really trust her? What she did say was actually so accurate, of course. Nobody in this village has even showed him a sliver of love. He doesn't even know what love is. Was that quite actually an idiot excuse just to make up that his family still loves him? Yeah, right. Family still loves me. That's quite ironic. He was alone from the very beginning. Alone. Him against the world. People actually hated him for what he had inside of him. For something that he couldn't control. Well, his parents, of course. The fourth Hokage. He couldn't care less about his son. He could only think less about actually Naruto and focus more on Memma and Mito, the child of prophecy. Naruto started to feel anger build up inside of him here. He doesn't understand, but he will actually raise his hand towards Yaruko before Yaruko will grab it. This is where Naruto will cry and saying that actually he just wants to be loved. Yaruko will lift Naruto's head before actually placing her forehead on Naruto before a white light would emerge. Time would have actually resumed back to normal, as actually one of the villagers would actually raise his right hand, having a kunai in his hand, ready to kill Naruto once and for all. But his hand was actually stopped, grabbed by Naruto, as he lifted up his whole body, to where his hair turned that of white, his eyes turned that of blue, but also there was an aura around of him, a deadly red, platinum blue, and also purple aura mixed into one. This is actually where Naruto would have actually not let go of the man, but instead charged up a white light in his right palm before actually incinerating everyone in the alleyway before going unconscious. In the mindset of Naruto, Yaruko would have actually been in Naruto's mind, of course, after merging with him, of course. This is actually when Yaruko would have actually just roamed around, trying to actually find one of her mother's beasts. Finally, she actually located it, and now she was staring face to face with the Nine-Tails Kurama. Kurama, sensing Yaruko's presence, will growl right at her and ask who was she and how dare she enter his domain. This is where Yaruko would actually tell Kurama to actually calm down. Surprising the fox, Kurama asks how does she know his name, before Yaruko would actually shush Kurama by actually placing chains all around of him. This is where Kurama would actually be facing Yaruko face to face, not being able to move. Yaruko would have actually said to Kurama to cooperate with her. She actually had plans, of course, for Kurama, and she will be using him quite well if he doesn't actually obey her orders. Kurama growled as he flared his chakras towards Yaruko, trying to intimidate her, but of course it wasn't enough. Yaruko would have actually flared her own chakra, growing larger in size to actually bigger that of Kurama. This is where her eyes were morphed from that of the Byakugan to the Tensegan, to the Rinnegan, to the Sharingan. Kurama watched it in awe and fear and asked how is this even possible. He actually never felt true fear, of course, in his whole life, as pretty much he just gave in. Yoriko, absorbing after the nine tails inside of her, she would just chuckle, saying how her plans had now fallen into action. All that he left is just for Naruto just to accept her, and then they can actually take over the world. Bring this world to actually a greater order here. She has a feeling that if she can actually control this Naruto, she can actually just control actually Naruto's every action. Naruto will be loyal only to her. Thinking about this smartly, she doesn't want to be thinking like her mother what she did. Falling in love randomly, of course, but yet she needed to manipulate someone who can actually blend into the world itself. And what better not to do it than a Jinchuriki, of course, who's just been isolated, neglected, and also abused, of course. A few years would actually go by before Naruto would finally actually enroll into the academy here. Naruto from that day on would think that that was all a dream, that there was no way somebody can actually show him love. In the academy, Naruto was even treated worse. Or actually the rest of actually the heads of the clan would actually just show Memba and Mito favor. That of Sakura, Hinata, Ino, and the rest. Naruto didn't even have one friend. People actually just made fun of him because actually Naruto didn't really have that much chakra, despite him being an Uzumaki. It felt like actually somebody was interfering with actually his chakra reserves or something like that. Unknown to him, it was Yoriko already actually forming and morphing Naruto to be the perfect athlete weapon for her to take over this world, one step at a time. One day, in the Uzumaki garden, Naruto would have actually been sitting behind a tree, reading actually one of his actually favorite books, of course, about heroes, legend. His favorite one was actually Madara Uchiha, of course. Despite actually him actually being an Uchiha, he felt like he was actually quite of an understood actually guy, of course. Of course, he actually had respect for actually the first Hokage, but Madara was something that actually Naruto did enjoy reading, of course. Legend actually did say that he took on actually over actually 1 billion ninjas here, that he was actually the strongest Uchiha to ever live, that even actually the likes of Hashirama had trouble facing off against him. As Naruto was reading, a kunai would be thrown right at his book, as the kunai would be pointed right at actually Naruto's actually nose, shocking him. Dropping his book, he would look towards the direction where the knife came from, to where it was actually Memba, to where he would actually kind of chuckle. How can you actually become a ninja if you can't even dodge a simple shuriken, of course? You really have to call yourself actually a brother? That's quite actually hilarious. You could not even dodge a single kunai, let alone perform even actually the basic jutsus here. It's like you're just an ordinary actually civilian with no chakra of course at all. Not able that you're actually like the soul and also actually the useless actually brother of actually the Kyuubi. To make it even way more worse, you're even actually the most actually useless actually person in the whole actually academy who couldn't even perform a single jutsu, of course. A clone jutsu. That's quite sad, Memba would say. Being fed up by actually Memba, Naruto couldn't help but actually punch him in the nose, breaking his nose as Naruto kept on beating on Memba over and over again, not actually wanting to stop. His eyes formed that of actually the Rinnegan to actually that of the Sharingan and also the Tenseigan to the Byakugan, which actually Memba could not see as his actually whole vision was covered in blood. This is where actually Mito would actually come in, to where actually she would push Naruto off Memba. Naruto could actually hold his rage and he went ahead and attacked his sister before actually Minato would come in and actually point actually his actually kunai right at Naruto, telling him to stop before actually pinning him on the floor. Kushina would come out to see actually Memba bloodied up and ask what happened. This is where Mito would explain everything, to where they would actually be looking at Naruto in complete shock. How can you do this to your own siblings, Naruto? Do you know what you just done? You just went ahead and broke actually Memba's nose. This is the violence should not actually be taken lightly. For someone like you should actually be punished. But I don't have time for this here. I have actually business to take care of. I'll leave this to your mother, Minato would say. Kushina would have actually looked towards Naruto, and she would tell Naruto just to actually go to his room just for now. that Jiraiya and Tsunade will be coming here just to take care of them. But Naruto didn't even like Jiraiya or even Tsunade. They spent actually their focus training actually Menma and Mito, but they don't have time for him. Of course, Naruto was always alone. He had no one from the beginning. What actually makes it any different that they even care for him right here and now? It was actually truly pathetic. Once in his room, Naruto would have actually lied down on his bed, resting up of course before falling asleep. As he's sleeping, Naruto felt that he was actually in a soft, grassy wasteland, that there were flowers all around next to him, but there was actually some animals roaming around. Bunnies, rabbits, even fox, wolf. It felt like they were real. Naruto looked up to see a beautiful giant cherry blossom tree, but there was somebody right underneath, just underneath the tree. His curiosity got the better of him. Picking himself up, he would walk towards that Naruto would be shocked. It was the same girl who he saw just actually a few years ago. How could this even be possible? Just then, the girl would actually just vanish before Naruto would look confused. Naruto would feel somebody actually holding him from behind. Turning around, he would see the girl with actually a mysterious actually grin on her face, but also that of a loving one that actually shows that she was actually gonna actually have a way with actually Naruto, whether actually he likes it or not. With this, she would actually say to Naruto what took him so long. That actually she actually was going through actually some changes into his body to make him the perfect weapon for her. Naruto quite didn't understand. But of course, Yoriko would introduce herself to be Yoriko Otsutsuki, and she would explain everything to Naruto. Naruto will quite be confused but also understand at the same time. After actually Yoriko went about it actually a calm and sensible way that Naruto could actually understand her. Naruto will ask Yoriko, then what does she want with him? What does actually a powerful being like her, or even if she was one, wants somebody like him, a worthless guy? Before Yoriko can even say anything, Naruto would have actually clenched his fist here, and this is where he would actually go ahead and try to punch Yoriko, say that nobody actually cares for him, but immediately he was actually stopped. His attack was stopped. It's like he was frozen. Yoriko would have came and embraced him, and saying that she would not let anyone harm her darling ever again. It's just her now. Naruto doesn't actually need to feel pain no more. She can bring that pain away from Naruto here. If he just accepts her, of course, that's all she wants. She wants Naruto to accept actually her as his lord and savior. She will show Naruto true strength and power. Naruto didn't understand what she was talking about, but of course he felt so much attracted to her. Like she really wanted to help, but also that she shouldn't be really trusted. Yoriko would say to Naruto that it's his choice. Either actually he can actually follow her, or either live in this world where that nobody actually cares for him to even show him what love really is. Naruto was not stupid, but he just actually wanted to actually know what truly love felt like. With this, he would grab Yoriko's hand. Yoriko would have smiled, and with this, the two of them would actually form actually their plans